Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Wednesday and we are live. You may call it Wealth Wednesdays, Winning Wednesdays, Wealthy Wednesdays. I call it my favorite day of the week. It's the day I was born. I love Wednesdays. Just makes, breaks up the whole week. You have something, you finish with something, you have something else to look forward to. Anyway, welcome to Big Legacy Talks on this section that I call Factually Speaking. We have our speaker from last week back to share some more nuggets, this time on business credit. I'm feeling a little bit better, not all that much. You could still hear it a little bit in my voice, but I am here because that's what we do. We're here. I'm Carmen Bernard, founder and CEO of Big Facts. Big Facts is an acronym for Bernard Insurance Group, Financial and Consultant Services. What we do is to help people to protect their income, eliminate debt, create a legacy of generational wealth, as well as reduce taxes and income retirement income stream that they cannot outlive. Tonight, though, we're talking about business credit. Why? I have many business owners, and they want to know what to do to um, to enable to leverage business credit in their business. All right. And so tonight I have someone that Miss Tiffany Banks Parker, that has some knowledge that she can impart on us. She is a licensed realtor here in the state of Georgia. She is a business consultant. You can reach her via Facebook on her Tiffany Banks Parker page. She's also the founder of the Black Owned Business Network with over 70 something thousand followers.
75,000.
75,000 followers. So please make it a point to join, um, where lots of information is shared. She encourages Black business owners to share their information on there, regardless of what they do. She's all about collaboration, not competition. So it doesn't matter what you do. Come on in, introduce yourself, say what kind of business you have, and interact in the community. Well, I just want to jump right into it. Miss Banks, I love that shirt.
Yeah, thank you. So it says women empower women, and it's a testament to what you just said, especially with me starting a network. So I want to empower everybody, but I am especially concerned about the group that I belong to, women. So
Well, that's awesome. So tonight, last week we had a wonderful conversation, and if you missed that conversation, that live is still up for you to partake in it, where we talked about personal credit and what are some things you can do to start repairing it. We even offered some resources where you can get a budgeting template, where you can schedule a free consultation with Miss Banks. So that she can point you in the right direction when it comes to your personal credit. But if you have a business and you want to know, can I even get business credit? That's the first thing I'm going to talk. Somebody has a business. What's the first thing that they have to do? Like, how does it have to be set up or whatever for them to even have business credit? Or could I just start cooking some food in my kitchen, start selling some plates and say, I got a business, now I need some business credit? Tell me how it works.
you could do that, but there are steps in between that. The first thing for business credit, you need to have a business. You need to have a business, or you need to represent a business to have business credit. Secondly, you need to have the business registered and established properly.
Okay.
And because if you don't have it established properly, that affects what kind of business credit you can get. If you are a sole proprietor, it's going to be different, as if you're registered as an LLC in your state. So you have to have your business registered, formed properly. That's the second thing. And once that's done, you need a business bank account.
Okay.
And that those are the first three steps. that you need to have before you can start trying to establish business credit. So you have a business, have it registered and structured properly, and then get a business bank account.
Awesome. Sometimes I hear you could have had a business for 3, 4 years, but until you have that business bank account, it's not really fully a business. That business bank account is what sets it fully in place. So those are three great first steps for people to do. So now I've done that. I have my business. I created a business. I registered it. I structured it. However, I chose whether it was a LLC, S corp, sole proprietor, whatever. I got a business bank account. Why do I even need business credit?
For various reasons. So I need to mention that you may need to start making some type of money. If you are, none of us are in business to just be in business. We're in business to make money, and so you need to have some type of money coming in, and because what happens is when you start applying, the reason for your business account is when you start applying for credit, it's almost like personal credit. You're not guaranteeing it, from your personal self, but they also want to see that you are making a profit from your business, not something very extravagant. In some places, people, in some cases, creditors will look and say, okay, we're, they're bringing in A, B, C, and D, and we're going to extend this amount of credit. So you don't have to have a lot of money, but your business needs to be doing something. It just should not be sitting on zero and then you go out there and you want credit. Um, Credit can, it's important because if you're doing good, but like every month you're like, gosh, I can be doing so much better if, I had the revenue to, the capital to buy more product, or, to do more marketing or whatever. So that's why it's very important. They want to see something. They want to know that you have the potential to expand, to make money. So that's another thing. You need to be making something. That's why it needs to be a legitimate business, not just something that you start and say, "Hey, I want to just start applying for credit all over the place." No, you should have some money coming in, making some kind of money where these people can look and say, "Okay, well, money, we can, extend this amount of money so that they can reach more people." Because people that lend you money, they want their money back, and they want it back with interest.
Right.
So yeah, so you want to, it's important because business credit can help you meet payroll by, different, have more products to sell or whatever. That's why it's important.
Okay. So what do I do to start to build business credit?
Well, so there's a process, and business credit is not just built overnight. It's very, very similar to personal credit, but there's a process. So, first, you want to start off, and usually this is what happens. So, you're new in business, you made a little bit of money or whatever, and you start applying. I would not start applying to a whole bunch of places, because just like your personal credit, you don't want to be perceived as somebody that's fishing around trying to get all of this credit. So you want to be very strategic in what you're doing when you're trying to get business credit. So usually there's tiers in business. You start off, and there's a lot of information. I see these business groups; they're everywhere, and they have tiers. So these are the first companies that you have a very good chance of getting an account with. Most people try to get like net 30 or net 60 accounts. I know Amazon has something where I think they have net 30 and net 60 accounts, and they really don't have that many requirements. You can really just reach out to Amazon, and you have your tax ID number, your business, your LLC, and say, hey, I have this business. Can you extend me credit, or I want a net 30 account or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, Amazon will give it to you. So usually people are starting off with net 30 and net 60 accounts. For people who don't know what that is, a net 30 account is where you get your product and you have 30 days to pay for, the products that you've gotten. Same with net 60. If you get your products, these merchants or creditors will allow you to get whatever they have to offer for your business, and you have 30 or 60 days to pay that back. So that's how people get started and get established building credit. So they usually go to net 30 and net 60 creditors to get started.
Very, very good, very good. And to that point, um, most businesses operate like that. I mean, you walk into Walmart, the paper towels that you're purchasing probably haven't been paid for as yet by Walmart, because Walmart purchased that from some supplier on some net 30, net 60, or net 90. So when you pay them, that's when they will pay back their supplier. So that's important of how you keep your business running.
Right.
Um, so that's good. That's
Yes,
really
because
good.
ultimately the point is if I give you this, and give you time to pay for it, then the goal is for you to have sold or made some kind of money off of whatever they're giving you up front, and then you'll have it later on to pay for. This will help you some kind of way in your business to generate money so that you'll have it to pay for it when the terms are due.
Okay,
So
very good.
that's why they do that.
Yeah. So, so you're saying you start out with some net 30 accounts. I had heard, what about some revolving accounts? What types of revolving accounts would you try if you were a pretty new business and you wanted to get some credit with that as well?
Well, I know that there's people like Capital One. They offer credit cards. It's a revolving credit. But the thing is, when you start getting into the revolving credit, if you're brand new, there is usually going to be a personal guarantee. Not with everybody, but with most people. So they'll say this is a business credit card, but when you read the fine print and when you start applying for this credit card, they're going to ask you for your social security number. And so if you don't have a good credit score, then you may get turned down for that card because you're being used, to guarantee it. Your personal credit is guaranteeing that. So I would just wait. Most of the major cards, they do have business credit cards or whatever. But unless you want to be, personally on the hook, and we can talk as we get more into it. You can still be held personally liable, even for cars that you don't give your social security number to. But that's something that's totally different. That's going way out.
All right, so we're gonna come. We're gonna
No.
table. Yeah, we're gonna table that
So,
for a minute and come back to that though, because that's important for people to know. I had I had attended, I guess, a seminar or something, or read someplace or whatever, that there are some things like the Office Depots, I think it
right.
was, or like some office supply, Quill or something like that.
Mhm.
That they're a little bit easier to get some cards, so to get some stuff like that, because that kind of helps you. What would you say? How many accounts should someone try to start to get to try to get that? First of all, tell us a little bit of how they score the business credit.
Well, so most people that um, start with the business credit, they get a DUNS number. That's something that we didn't when we were talking about the business accounts or whatever. They get a DUNS number, and you have a score. And I want to say upwards of 80 or something like that. That's very good. That's what people are looking for. It's not scored the same, but upwards of 80, then that's pretty good. You have a pretty good business credit score. And
Hmm.
so usually what people do is, like I said, there's tiers. There's like tier one, tier two, tier three, or whatever. And they start off with these tier one cards. Like you said, Quill, they have Uline. These are
Uline, there
people,
you
if
go.
you want to get people that report to your business credit, so your numbers can increase. So you want to make sure that whenever you are applying for business credit, even with these net 30 and net 60 accounts, that they are reporting. There's a t-shirt company, I want to say it's called Shirtsy. That's the same thing. So you get a lot of people don't even need these items, but I mean, I guess you could if you have a business and you want to brand it. You get some t-shirts made with your company name on it. Quill, who doesn't need office supplies?
Right.
Uline sells all types of different things, containers or whatever, bags, for your business. So you want to, when you get with these people, try to get items that you actually need, that are necessities
Right.
for your business, because you just don't want to have a business account that you just have and you're ordering unnecessary things for, because ultimately you have to pay for them.
Right. So you want to make sure that they do report, and you want to make sure that they do report, and you want to get a couple of them
I would
that
say 3 to 5.
3 to 5 that does report. Very good. Very good. Um, going back a little bit to the Duns number, um, the Duns number is something that's free to get from
It's
Dun& and
free.
Bradstreet.
Right.
Understand that if you go on there, people, there's going to be things that they're selling. Do not sign up for anything, just register your company. That's it. And yes, it's important to know that I think that score goes between 80 and 100.
And also with the DUNS number, it does not expire. It's just like a EIN. It
Yeah,
doesn't expire, so you don't have to, unless you establish a new business. You have that same number for your business. It doesn't expire. And yes, there are people out there that are saying that pay me and I'll get your number. You don't have to pay anybody to get a DUNS number. So it's something that you can do on your own. You don't have to.
exactly.
You don't have to pay anybody for it. And actually, it's needed if you're going to do any business with the United States government, with any contracts or anything. You must have that DUNS number. So that's another thing that you know people need to be aware of. You're going to have that, and if you want to do business with the government.
Here's something interesting. So I had my customization business open for a couple of years when I decided to look into doing some business with the United States government. And you have to have your business has to be registered with SAMS.gov. And when I went for that, I had to figure out I had to go get a DUNS number. Lo and behold, it was assigned to me. I already had a DUNS number without even
Mhm.
applying for one. So if you've had a business for a while, that you've been running a cash business or something like I had been doing for a couple of years, you may already have a DUNS number.
It's a possibility that you already have one. Some people go and say, "Hey, I tried to get a DUNS number, and guess what? Lo and behold, I already have one." So
Yes,
it's a possibility that you already have a DUNS number if you've been in business for a number of years. You may have a number already assigned to you.
signed to you. Yes, that was interesting, and I found that out about I'd say maybe 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years
Mhm.
ago, that I
Mhm.
realized that I had that DUNS number, which meant that about 3 years. I had been doing the business for about 3 years, and at that time I realized it was already assigned to me. Because, and guys, one of the things that I want you guys to understand, especially with business credit, personal credit is personal, and it's between you and whomever. Business credit, not so. Talk a little bit about that. Tell them about business credit. Everybody know your business.
Yeah, you don't want to mix your business and personal credit together. Um, so you want to always keep that separate. You don't want to mix it together. You don't, I have consultations with people, and you would be amazed at how many people will use their business credit for a personal emergency. That's not what that's for, unless it's something that has to do with payroll, but that's not personal, that's business. So you want to try to keep your business and your personal credit separate. They are two, you and your business are two separate entities. You don't want to commingle that. So you don't want to go out and do a shopping spree with your with your business credit. That's not what you want to do, um, because the once you start doing that, it for some people it becomes a habit. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have it over here. I'm just gonna take my business credit and I'll buy that, and that's like a big no. I see a lot of stuff that people do with business credit that they end up regretting later on.
Yeah. And in addition, just like you can go and pull up Sam's or Walmart or any business and see all of the lines of lines of credit, lines of business that they have, that's the same way it is for you. So all your neighbor has to know is the name of your business, and they can go pull it up. They can go pull it up. They can see the DUNS number. They can look at everything on there. Everything is public when it comes to business credit.
Right. And so this is the issue that we're having with these government loans, with the PPP loans and all of this stuff. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just like, people can go in and see how much your business got, in PPP loans, and, if you got any money or whatever. It's the same thing with business credit. It is a matter of public record.
That's right. That's why your people are calling on you and telling the people you don't have no real business and you don't have no employees. And when you already said what you got, and a lot of people are gonna go to jail off behind that PPP loan that turned into a PPP grant because your friend know your business. What Bob Marley said? Only your best friend know your secret, and it's only he who could reveal it.
Yeah,
So
I really hope that because I really don't wish jail on anybody. So I'm just hoping the best for all of this. I keep seeing all of these videos being made every week about this, that, and the other, and people being prosecuted for PPP. I just hope that our people come out unscathed. But yeah, I just
you got a good heart. If they did the crime, they're gonna do the crime. I'm so sorry, but you know what? You knew when you were writing down on there, whatever. And I just realized I was in a training yesterday, albeit that I'm dying, and the guy was talking about I could have qualified for PPP because I am, but I didn't think I could because you had to have W-2 employees. However, people that were that were like in a business like me, just me only or whatever, insurance, whatever, we were able to qualify for PPP loans. And he was like, you guys weren't reading our you weren't reading our emails that we were sending and things like that, because right now I can help people who have a business and who had like several employees and things like that,
Mhm.
and they really suffered in the last 2 years, whether it was closing down or especially lots of restaurant businesses or any other type of business that had W-2 employees that did not get their employee retention credit. They are people are qualifying for up to like $26,000 per employee. And so if you're listening to me, here's a shameless plug. Reach out to me if you have not gotten your ERC, employee retention credit,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
let me get you to speak to someone about some of those funds that you're letting go. This has nothing to do with the PPP, even if you got it. Now, if you got
Right.
the PPP and you didn't have no employees, don't call me. I'm not into that. But if you didn't, you want to reach out to me so that we can do that. But back to this. business credit and
But
funding.
but before you go into that, because I just got an email, I want to say on last evening about the ERC. A couple of months I was doing a live broadcast with a person that worked for the IRS, and she's also an accountant or whatever. And there, she was saying that there was still money that was available, and that people just didn't know about it. And I think that some of our people were so afraid that, because the chatter about, okay, you don't need to take this money and you're, this, that, and the other, it started very early on. But I want people to know that if you have a legitimate business that you own, that you represent or whatever, there's funds out there for you. You don't
There
have to,
is.
don't miss out on it because you are afraid. If your business is legitimate, there's things out there. There's money out there. There was, money that they had left over for various things. So just, inquire about what's out there.
Yeah, it is. That is really, really important because here's the thing. Many people had businesses and they may have gotten some other credits. They may have gotten some COVID credits. Like some I do some taxes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many people that did not realize that they qualified for COVID for some COVID credits as a business owner, as a small business owner. That has nothing to do with that. If you, it has nothing to do with the ERC. And also, if you had a bigger business like 5 employees, 10 employees, and you had to close down, or you had to, you got even the PPP loan to help them to continue to keep their jobs, to retain those employees, you want to speak to us because your CPA or your accountant may not have known what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
these people specifically are experts in making sure that you recover this money. They had one client there the other day that um, they were told, no, you do not qualify for ERC. And we had them speak with the CPAs that that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, turns out that they end up qualifying for over $100,000 worth of credit of
Wow.
ERC, even though they were told that they didn't qualify for it. So do not miss up a conversation. Call, ask me about it, and I will put you in contact with the CPAs that actually um, specializes in this. Don't miss out on money that is already there. Y'all know how the government works. When the money is, put aside, they have to use that money up.
Right,
All
right,
right.
right,
So that's just how big government works. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get political or anything, but that's just how it works. So do
right.
not miss out on that money that you could have gotten. Do not miss out on we have lots of businesses out here that are struggling to pay their employees group health insurance and things like that. There is help out there for you if you're struggling to pay employees group health, and if you have employees that have families um, that cannot get insurance because they can't afford it, or they have to choose which one of their children they put the insurance on.
Mm-hmm.
There's help for that, and there's some things that are going to be changed a little bit later on in the year, at least for next year, where that glitch is going to be fixed. But right now there are things that we can do to help legitimate businesses that are really and truly trying to help their employees, but might end up hurting their employees, all because of some things that they don't know.
Okay.
No. And so that's why it's important for conversations like this to bring this to light so people can understand that
Hold on 1 minute. I got some little people and a dog.
oh,
Come down here.
Yeah, but so people can understand that there's help out there, for you as an individual, there's help out there for you as a business owner, there's help out there. And it's just one conversation away from that.
Yeah, people need to know who to contact, what to look for. They need to get in touch with the right people. Like you said, somebody can say, no, no, you don't qualify. But if you get in touch with the right person that knows what's going on, then you can get the help that you need.
Oh yeah, and they're going back actually for both 2020 and 2021 for for you to be able to get the help on that employee retention credit. So business owners, please reach out to me with that. So we talked a little bit about getting started and what are some of the simple accounts to look out for. Um, but now we want to, I'm a realtor. I am an insurance agent. I drive all around to meet my clients. I want to know, how do I get maybe a vehicle in my business name? Do I need to have those first set of types of credits you talked about first before I could even attempt to try to apply to get like a vehicle in my name? What do I need to do?
So a vehicle is like a major purchase for a business. So you do because if you go to a car dealership and say, "Hey, I have a business, I want a car," and you don't have a business credit score, they want to see something. And there's not uh, uh, all of the banks do not participate in extending, financing cars or whatever. You'll have to. I think there's Ally. There's enough, but not all.
Hmm.
So you still have to have that business credit built. They want to see the same thing, like your personal credit. They want to make sure that things are being paid on time. They want to see a variety of credit.
Okay.
So you just can't have those.
Net
Net
30s and net
30s.
60s.
They want to see a variety of credit on there, and they want to. Well, I'm not going to say they want to see so much of your bank account or what you're bringing in, because usually they don't ask for that. But they want to see that you have established business credit before you get a vehicle. I know, like Navy Federal is really good with vehicles. They have Ally Bank, and there's a few others. But yeah, so I mean, it's basically the same with your personal credit. They want to see some established business credit. People say that it's easier to establish the business credit than it is a personal credit. But even so, they want to see some of the same things, that your accounts are paid on time. Like we said, a variety, not just the same type of credit. So you want revolving credit, you want, your net 30s or whatever on there. So that's how it works with the vehicles.
Oh crap! My computer telling me my battery about to die. Let me see how much I got. Yeah, it says 4 minutes. I better get my plug. Hold on, Risk. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. But I don't want it to die, so I'm gonna have to plug this in real quick. Okay. Alrighty. The day is saved. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Um,
I'm always, when you're on and you have that background back there, I'm just always um looking at that piano back there in the
right?
background.
That's too cool. It's so funny because it's being pierced, and you can see my clock on the wall right there. Every
Yeah,
time,
yeah. I see because the clock comes in and out sometimes.
yeah,
And yeah, it just yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
crazy.
don't know how to fix it so that it doesn't do that. I think something about some green screen or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
where I am in the kitchen, I could actually leave it, but oh well. I mean, take the background off, but the background is cute.
Yeah, I like it. I'm like, oh, I'm like I said, I'm always looking at the piano, like, oh, Miss Carmen got a piano back there.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Me and the other three people have the same exact decorator when we're on.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, though, about how long you would assume that someone should 6 months, a year, 2 years, what before
Uh,
they would.
at the minimum, I would say 6 months.
Okay, at least. Okay.
Yeah, at least 6 months. And then, like when we talk about these cars or whatever, I want to just go back and on the cars because you know if your business is not making a, a lot of money, but for some reason you go out and you get a vehicle, um, I would not get a very, very expensive vehicle or a
Right.
luxury car because I need for people to keep in mind that you have to pay for these things. Just like personal credit, I don't know why people are like, it's business credit and, I can get whatever because I'm not personally responsible um, for paying for these things. You can ruin your business credit just like you can ruin your personal credit.
Of course.
And then there's also something I know a lot of people, structure their businesses with LLCs and corporations or whatever for the tax purposes and for protection purposes. But there's a such thing as piercing the veil.
Yeah.
And that is when you become responsible for your business purchases. You are no longer um, protected by LLC status or by corporation status. That's something legal and it's called piercing the veil. So you don't want to go out here and uh, use your business credit recklessly because if your creditors want you bad enough, they can get you.
Right. Exactly. Players in the corporate veil and things. Some of the things that can cause that to happen for you is if you're commingling, if you are using personal and business together,
Yep.
and so if you're using your personal accounts, I mean your business accounts to pay your personal bills or to do personal
Mhm.
shopping and all of these things, you are the one that's creating that hole in there so that they can get through. And now you've gotten rid of that limited liability that you were. Now it's all you and the business is all one. So definitely, uh, I agree with that. Can you talk a little bit about um, how do they um, for paying their bills? I know last week we talked about it. You want to pay your bills on time. You do not want to be late. Same thing with the business. But do they do it in the same exact way? Is it the same 30 days or 20 something days or how does that work?
It could be they, it works. It's basically the same as your personal credit, but in personal credit, hey, I'll pay it, the minimum or whatever. In business credit, you should not be carrying over balances.
Okay.
That's just what I feel. You should not. You should, if you spend it, then you should pay it all. That's how you keep your business credit, in good standing. So that's something different. So you mean with personal credit. You have those. You pay the minimum. You pay, no, on the business credit, you need to try to clear that thing up,
Yeah.
whole balance when it's due.
All right.
Because you're running a business, right? You should be making some kind of money. This is just goes back, money and business goes hand in hand. Money and business credit, money and personal credit goes hand in hand. If you don't have money to pay for your purchases or to pay back whatever, these creditors have extended you, then you ruin the credit. Just like you ruin your personal credit, you ruin your business credit. It's the same thing. You have to have some money. So if you're running a business and you buy this amount of product or whatever, you should be able to pay that full balance off by
Yes.
it, because you're purchasing for the business. You're
Right.
purchasing it, for the purpose of turning a profit on whatever you're buying. If you get a vehicle, the vehicle with business credits is not for you to just drive around. Not unless you have some kind of magnets or stickers, or you're doing some kind of marketing. It's not to show off the vehicle that you have.
Right.
Your
Right.
vehicle serves a purpose. If you have a business where you need to be traveling from point A to point B, dropping off supplies, picking up supplies, driving around clients or whatever, that's what that's for. It's not just for you to have.
All right. And I'm glad. I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about that so that, especially for, young people in business now getting into it, do not fall into the trap of how you ruined your personal credit, um, because no one talked to you about that, or no one told you about the things that you should or shouldn't do, and you end up in trouble. So it's a good thing
Well,
for us to talk about it with
so
both
what people are
businesses.
doing is they are actually using, well, what I've seen. I'm not going to, throw everybody in the same basket, but what's happening is people are using business credit as a second chance personal credit. That's what they're doing, and
Right.
that's not how it works. Um, because, like I said, the same way you ruined your personal credit, you can do it with your business credit. If you don't have the money to sustain what you have on your personal credit, and then you don't have a legitimate business, you just went, and because it's really easy to register a name of a business that you started, get a business account, and start applying. See, it's really simple. It's really easy. And but if you don't have the money to pay for these things, you end up in the same boat. Business credit is not second chance personal credit.
Right.
It's
Very
not.
good. Very, very good. All right. Now, let's move on a little bit to, and I don't know how much you're into this part, but what about the people who are like, well, you're saying I do need some money. I have to show some profits or something coming in or whatever. What if I need some money to help me start the business? Is there places that I can get stuff funded, or I'm doing well? And an example you said earlier, I'm doing well, but I could do so much better. So is there places where I can get funded with, a couple of thousand, not a big millions of dollars, but is there, do you have any information you can share with us on that?
There are places, but the caveat to that is the interest that you're paying back, the time period that you're paying back. So when you go to these funding companies and they say, okay, well, we'll give you such and such. So what they're going to look at when you're looking at places like this, and that are not necessarily going by what your credit score is or your business credit score, they want to see what's in your bank account, and they want to see debits and credit. They want to see a very active bank account, that you got money coming in and that you have money going out. And then they're going to look at your balances, which is why I was saying that when you have credit cards or anything, business credit cards, you don't want to carry a balance over. So it's the same with your bank account. Like you can have money going in and out of a bank account, which shows that you have an active business bank account or whatever. But if the ending balance is always on zero, that's not good.
Right.
Because you don't have any money. You don't have anything left over after all of these transactions have taken place. You have nothing. So there are companies that look at that. Like I said, they want to see money going in, they want to see money coming out, and they want to see what your closing balance is at the end of each month, and that determines how much money that they give you. The money is going to come at a higher interest rate, and then you'll have terms, which are sometimes of very short terms
Right.
to pay it back. So, and some of these people can lend up to $1 million, but think about it. For somebody to give you even 100,000, think about how much you have to be selling or how much business you have to be doing, a month. And now they also give, much smaller loans, but like I said, you have to have something. It just cannot be a bank account that's always sitting on zero. They want to see activity. When people give you money, they are giving it to you, wanting something back from you, and want the best possibility that they're going to get it back.
Right. Right.
So yeah, there's companies out there. There's even companies that'll do the same for gig workers. Gig workers, you are essentially a business. People will give you money. You have this, Uber drivers. You're cashing out every day. They see the money, but they have to see an active bank account, and they want to make sure that you're carrying a good balance. Not anything, extravagant unless you're seeking out extravagant funds, but they want to make sure that you'll have the money to pay them back. It's not without risk.
Yeah, I know because I know of a business owner. They looked, their business was doing well, but they it was a trucking business, and they needed to have, some more money in because something happened to the truck, and we wanted, as you want to be on the road, but
Mhm.
sometimes you have to look at what is that really worth it, paying 30-40% on interest to do something, or the other companies, a lot of times they will take advantage of you, or these factoring companies that are out there that will give you the money, but they want how much ever percent of your invoice that's coming in.
Yeah.
So those are also, you got to look at it and see, maybe you don't need to go full speed ahead. Maybe you just need to slow down right now. And
Look, the only way that I would do something like that, like you mentioned, a truck driver or something, if it is an absolute business emergency. So truck drivers make money from their trucks. That's
right.
how they make the money. So if a truck breaks down, the flow of money stops. You need to get that truck fixed.
Hmm.
So if a truck driver, I think that would be okay because, like I said, the terms, you have different terms. You have this interest, and then you have this time period to pay the money back. So, hey, if I was a truck driver and the truck is broken down, I need to get it fixed. That could be a possibility, one of those companies, because a truck driver, as soon as he gets this truck fixed, he's getting back on the road and the money comes back. And perhaps, and most likely, a truck driver will be able to pay the full amount of whatever they borrow back
Right.
within a given time frame, within the terms that they're given. So yeah, so that would, if it's not a business emergency, if it's not something that has halted your business, where it has ceased to bring in money, you need this to bring in money, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't consider that. I would just do the conventional or traditional ways that businesses get funding. It's not, like you said, 30 and 40% is crazy. No,
Yeah.
no.
But I think that it's some good information anyway that we've gotten, especially for business owners who have been, you're thinking sometimes some opportunities come along where it would be great if you had a reserve, either a reserve, some money that you can access or something like that. So uh, starting to build your business credit could definitely be important. Of course, another way to do it, which I talk about here every single week of the month that I'm here, I talk about the fact that you could take your money, save it in a vehicle that's giving you more than a bank account will give you, and then you can borrow that money from yourself. And once you borrow the money from yourself, though, the way for you to be able to make sure that this works is that you have to be paying back yourself just as if you had borrowed that money from the bank. So if you were borrowing the money from the bank and it was going to cost you 12%, then when you pay yourself back, you have to pay yourself back that 12%. That's the way money works. That's the way money works. And if you, because otherwise, you are going to basically be robbing your future self. You would pay somebody else back that 12%, but you would not pay your own self back that 12%. How how much sense that does that make? We
Right. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. So, the thing to keep in mind is you want whatever credit, your personal credit, your business credit, you want everything to benefit you, especially your business credit. You want it to benefit you. So whenever you are applying, like I said, you want to apply for places that will benefit your business. Even with the revolving credit cards, you want cash back
oh
cards.
yeah,
You want cards if you're flying, if you have to, in your business you have to travel. You want cards that give you rewards, give you points, give you whatever. Those are the types of things that you look for, so that everything you do in your business will benefit you.
that's
And
right.
you'll get some kind of perk from it that will benefit your business. So you just don't want to go out here just gung ho applying for everything. You want to look at the terms of the cards. How does this benefit me? Does this give me something extra? Will I get flying points? Will I get gas rewards? Something. You know, you want it to benefit you.
Exactly. So there, with that hack, understanding that, here's the double hack. Now you get the credit card, the business credit card. You purchase that business flight on that credit card, and
Mhm.
you earn the you earn the rewards. However, you now take the money from your business pool of banking that I talked about, right? Because we can do this both for personal and for business. Business, matter of fact, we love business owners to do that. And now you pull the money from your business pool. Actually, no, let me say that a different way. You use the business pool that you have as collateral to pull money and pay off that credit card. Now you've earned the rewards and
Mhm.
you've used somebody else's money to pay that off, and you now have that freed up, that when you need some more you can use it again. And additionally, your money is still growing
Mhm.
without any impact to you. Now you're going to pay that back just like you were going to pay it back if you had borrowed it, if you were going to you had kept it on the credit card. Now the same money you were going to pay the credit card back each month is the money now that you pay back to yourself. And a lot of times that turns out now to become a wash transaction, because you're not paying back any interest. Even if it would have cost you interest, you paid it back within the time limit that
Right.
you then now, and it's simple interest, you then now have eliminated interest. So that's the way you grow wealth, because now all of this money is going toward your future self, your future pool of wealth. And so that's the biggest reason I wanted to talk about this, because when I sit down there and I'm talking about life insurance, We are always equating life insurance to some kind of death or something like that. We've
Mhm.
got to learn to the secret uses of life insurance, which, by the way, is the title um of our topic tomorrow night. Secret uses of life insurance that the wealthy and the elite uses that they don't want us to know about. And why they don't want us to know about it? Because if we're participating in it, then we're not borrowing their money and paying back interest.
And it's
That's
all
why.
it's almost like equity in a home. So people, we have this crazy market. I think that um, the market is, we're heading to a correction right now. But you talk to people, and you try to explain to them that however the market is, if you are able to buy, you need to buy because of equity. Uh, Homes have been a source of wealth building for forever. That's why everybody is after grandmas and aunties' homes right now, during this gentrification process. But yeah, we people, so it's just something we have to keep driving at home, ownership and life insurance.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So join us tomorrow for that lively discussion on some of the different uses of life insurance. And although life insurance was the initial or the original benefit of life insurance was to replace, something when you die. They have, for over 200 years, people have been using it so much differently to grow wealth. And we want to talk about those things and talk about those things to death. So, pardon the word, but we've got to know it. We've got to share it. We've got to do it. There are just so many other uses, so many other things that we can do with life insurance, and we don't. It's almost not a conversation that it doesn't come up. Like it doesn't. No matter what I'm talking about, it goes back there. So join us tomorrow night for that. But before I let you go, any parting things that else you want to share on the business credit?
Well, I guess we can just go over, just have a recap. The first thing is to have a legitimate business, or a business that you represent. The second thing is to have it structured properly, formed properly, registered in your state. The third thing is to get you a bank account. Then follow up with your DUNS number. Whenever you start applying for credit, make sure that you pay your bills on time, that you don't carry over balances. You want to try to apply for credit that will benefit you. Credit cards that give you rewards, give you points on something or whatever. You don't want to commingle your personal credit with your business credit. And you don't want to buy extravagant things with your business credit that will not benefit your business. And that's just about it. Oh, and if you do get cards or whatever that give you rewards or points or whatever, remember to redeem them. Remember
Right.
that. Some people do not remember to redeem them. They don't even, like, what? I got what? Remember to redeem them. It doesn't benefit you if you don't.
Very, very good. I want to thank you for spending this time with me tonight. This was a good conversation. We excuse my low energy today. Uh, I'm typically like all excited, if you see me with the ladies on Thursday nights, that they try to calm me down. But between today and tomorrow, I might still not be my 100% self. So it was kind of calm tonight, but good stuff, good information. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to join. Be sure to join me next Wednesday when I'll have another lively topic. I don't know if I'll have a guest next Wednesday. I should, but I have to confirm that. But I know that Miss Banks Parker is going to be back again in the future to talk to us about many other things. Please go join the Black Owned Business Network. Please go join the Millionaire Ladies Mob and follow us on YouTube and follow me on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful night.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.